This is Allison Brubacher, and this is my assignment on compass pose. So, this is one of those poses that eluded me for a while. I have a shoulder that kind of bothers me, and I couldn't figure out a way to open up my shoulders. So, I tend to teach this pose a little bit differently. Even though it is also a hamstring stretch, I really try to work on opening up our side body and our shoulders to make sure that no one is injured if we're gonna go as far as this. So let me do a couple of the warm-ups that I do or prep poses when I teach compass. So I like to do this to open up our shoulders, where we just start to lubricate them and we work on bringing those shoulders back with our strap and then forward again. Bringing it just a little bit farther back. Just yoking those shoulders and those connective tissue. One more time like this. And maybe this is all we stay. Maybe we take it and we can go all the way back, making sure not to hurt ourselves, and then stopping where we really feel it and really letting those shoulder blades open up. So, let's go ahead and get into a wide-legged stance. Wherever we feel comfortable. I normally go ahead and have our arms up high, and then we're going to take a twist over to our left. We can have our strap with us, and if it's more comfortable, I usually start to teach it this way, especially in the beginning, where we have our gaze of our nose towards our big toe, and that we just pull with our elbows until we can't pull anymore, and then we forward fold. Using that strap to make sure that we're taking this in our hamstring and not in our back like this. And we make sure it's straight before we fold. We go ahead and walk ourselves forward, pausing here, a breath or two here, and then we're gonna make our way over to the other side. Same thing with our stretch. We're gonna take it and slightly turn. We can use our strap if we need to. We're gonna keep that nose towards our big toe and walk ourselves forward until we can't anymore, and then we bend nose to knee. First stretch that we do to kind of get our hamstrings together. So then, part of the big hurdle we have in compass is just opening up that side body. So one way I like to do that is to be like in a hero's pose, but then we're gonna just dip ourselves to the right. We can use a block if we need to. So we're gonna bring our glutes to the side, plant that hand, and really take a lateral bend here. Breathing fully, opening up those ribs, and then taking our gaze up towards the ceiling. And with every breath, kind of let those hips sink a little bit deeper towards our mat. On an inhale, we're gonna bring ourselves back up, steady ourselves first, neutralize that, and then we'll take those hips, take those glutes over to the other side, steady ourselves first, and then we're gonna take a deep, deep bend, taking that gaze up towards the ceiling, letting those hips sink even more. Again, we're gonna bring ourselves back to center, pausing here, letting everything adjust. The next thing we're gonna go ahead and do is we can do it one of two different ways. We can stay in hero if that is not hurting anyone's legs or knees, or we can just bring our leg behind us, or bring it to the front and have that sole of our foot in our thigh. We can bring our strap again if we need to, wrap it around one foot, and we're just gonna straighten and bend, sitting up really straight. Straighten, bend, straighten, bend. If we don't need our strap, and we just do this a couple of times at our own pace. Both legs to make sure. And then one last pose that I really think is important to do before we do go into a full compass is to cradle our leg. So we can do it a couple different ways. We can treat this leg, this bent leg, I'm doing my left, like a baby, and we can hold onto our wrists if we can make it that way. We could use our strap here, or if we're super flexible, we can go ahead and take our elbows and hook them under and go ahead and settle back and forth. Opening up that hip, opening up that side body. Last thing. So, again, we can do this a couple of different ways. We can keep our foot in our inner thigh. If this feels right, we can bring our leg behind us. Or we can keep our leg straight like this. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our strap and we're gonna bring it, make sure everyone can see where we are. We're gonna bring it around the ball of, I have it on my left foot. So, we're gonna take this in our right hand and open ourselves up. Chest towards the ceiling. Gaze towards the ceiling. So we can do this with or without our strap. If we don't need our strap, we can grab onto our foot and then rolling that right shoulder back, opening up that chest. Using our arm down here to help us even open even more. Breathing here. So then we're ready for our compass. We can do it. So I usually show it the way that it is typically taught. Grab that outside of that foot. We're gonna lean forward a little bit. We're gonna open up that shoulder. But clearly that is not for everyone. So I like to also teach this modification. We take our strap and we bring it through like we're gonna do a belt. We bring it underneath our armpit, bring our foot in there, and then we hold ourselves up. So we have the ball of our foot, and then it's underneath our armpits. And this is a very fabulous modification for doing compass if that shoulder isn't opened or we're not quite where we can reach our foot. And then we can just practice from here, yoking and working towards getting that body to open up, getting that shoulder to open up.